Hey, I was thinking about going up with a quick message, but attention is not connection. Do not confuse the two. Just because someone shows you attention does not mean you are connecting. I've been noticing like around me, and I've noticed this like in past relationships and just looking at like my family and some of my former friendships, and I'm like, were we connecting or were we just in close proximity to each other and we had certain similarities and we just said that we were friends? Like, I've been noticing a lot in society that you'll see people and hear people talking a lot, but there's a lot of words, but nothing is really being said. Nothing's being said. Like, there's no real conversation. And, I realize that a lot of, especially neurotypicals, these neurotypicals are interesting. Like, they really rely on small talk to get through their days. And some of them don't like silence. They don't like there to be any space in between, like at all. Like they don't like silence. Like they need to talk. They need to talk to somebody. Or they need to be close to someone who they can just randomly strike up a conversation with. And it's like honestly, like if you ever like really watch people who claim that they're friends or claim like, oh, that's my friend, and you listen to their conversations, it's like y'all not really talking about nothing. You're not really talking about nothing. And it's like there's no real connection there. You don't have real conversations. That's one thing I will say, like, I know that me and my partner have had our issues or whatever, but one thing I really did appreciate, especially the beginning of our relationship, was that I can have real conversations with him. Even though we don't always see eye to eye, we definitely don't always agree. But I can have a real conversation with him, and we can really talk. So it's really rare that you find people like that. It's the same thing with his stepmom. Like I can have real conversations with her. So it's like, and that's not often that you find that in people where you can actually have like a legitimate conversation and really connect with them. Attention is not connection. Just because someone is texting you, just because someone calls you to talk to you, doesn't mean that they're really connecting with you. Some people are bored and they just need to fill up that space. And don't be a placeholder for people. Don't be the person that everyone comes to vent to and then they leave you depleted. Don't be that person. Okay? Like, I don't know, like I just want you guys to really, really understand and see your connections with people. And ask yourself, like, do me and this person, like, do we have a real connection, or is it just we're in close proximity? Because a lot of y'all have been claiming for years, like, your coworkers are your friends, and I already made a video and told y'all that your coworkers are not your friends. Because 9.5 times out of 10, it's very rare that people, it happens, but it doesn't happen as often as you think it does. There are people who have friends at their jobs, and once that person, when people start to leave and go to other places, they still remain friends. Most of the time, those relationships break apart because you don't have anything. The main thing that you had in common was the place that you frequent every day, which is work. And it's the same thing in families. Like, some of y'all are gonna, if you haven't already, you're gonna start distancing yourself from family because you realize that you don't really connect with any of those people. They don't really care about you. They're not really interested in anything that you got going on. They don't really ask about you. They ask how you're doing out of politeness, out of like, how we socially greet each other. But it's not like they really care. And that's what I'm saying, like, especially with coworkers and people that you work around and like neighbors and things like that, like, it's okay to be cordial and you can do small talk if that works for you, but don't be telling these people your business. Don't be thinking like, oh, you can rely on these people, because that's what a real friend is. A real friend is someone that you can call on if you need something. Even if they don't got it, they can still support you in other ways. Like, they may not be able to give you any money, but if you're hungry, they're like, but you can come over and I can make you a meal. well, you can come over and you can spend the night here if you don't have anywhere to stay, or you can stay here for as long as you need until you can figure things out. Like, that's the type of friends that you need to have in your life. Not people who are wishy-washy, people who pretend like they care about you and then the next minute they're ghosting you and disappear. You don't need that type of folks in your life. Okay? But attention is not connection. And that goes, and I'm really, like, that is also really for, like, romantic relationships. Excuse me. Just because you're sexually attracted to someone and there's a lot of sexual tension and sexual energy between the two of you does not mean that you're connected. And I'm specifically talking to the ladies because I'm not a man, so I can't really speak on what your urges are and how y'all feel, but I can speak as a woman that sometimes get ahead of yourself thinking like, oh, he's everything I've ever wanted, and really you get to know that man and you already done given it up to him and you find out that he really ain't shit. Yeah, you gotta slow yourself down, and you gotta start thinking more logically instead of thinking about your instant gratification. And you get dopamine when you talk to people, when people seem like, when it seems like it's a connection, you get that dopamine. That's kind of like, the connection with lust, how people, when they first meet someone that they find really attractive, really sexually attractive, and they're just like, oh my god, I think I'm in love with this person. And then, later on down the road, you find out this person ain't shit, and they go fuck your credit up. Go get you evicted from your house. It's like, damn, like, it wasn't ever supposed to be that way. And that's how it ended up being, So I just wanted to come on here real quick. I'm actually at work. I'm really bored. It's been very slow because, it's the holiday season. And, a lot of our clientele are out of town, so we'll see how long I last here today. But I love you guys. It's your girl, K Divine. I'll see you later. Bye.